75 million Americans voted for a Democrat in this last round of presidential elections. And at this moment, they have zero power at the federal level.
Jon Stewart, as I've said before, in some sense, and I interned there in 1999, I knew him a little bit. He sort of, I think you can argue, became the most disappointing of all of the public pundits, because he could have been even a sort of younger version. He's not even that much younger, but he could have been a younger sort of like, I've captured the zeitgeist more version of Bill Maher and stood up for liberalism and the onslaught of the progressives against the liberals. But he chose to go all in on it. And here he is on his show last night talking about ICE zip tying American children and more. And ironically, as you'll note, never shows pictures of it because it just has never happened.
75 million Americans voted for a Democrat in this last round of presidential elections. And at this moment, they have zero power at the federal level. Not in the House, not in the Senate, not in the executive, and not in the courts. There has not been a moment of conciliation or concern about the issues and policies that drove those 75 million votes. Not a moment. At present, the Democrats' largest victory over these past 8 months is getting a guy who may or may not be a criminal back from El Salvador so Trump could send him to Uganda. That was the big win. And then suddenly, a small ask for people's preservation of health care is a Molotov cocktail. Because apparently Republicans won't be satisfied with 99.8% domination. They must have it all. ICE went from deporting the worst of the worst to throwing grandmothers onto linoleum and zip-tying American children. And everyone's just supposed to be cool with the new masked, incredibly well-funded paramilitary group. And Democrats are just reduced to petty gestures of restroom resistance.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem posted that she was blocked from entering a city building in Illinois.
Can we use the restroom? No, you cannot.
We can?
Please don't open the door. Please don't open the door.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Interesting. That's what Governor Pritzker says is cooperation in keeping people safe.
Victory is ours! Look, I've given Democrats an enormous amount of for their poor leadership. Lack of specific and actionable plans, terrible messaging, abysmal wordplay. Did I mention poor leadership? But standing up for 75 million Americans in this moment to defend the rights of people to go into a little less medical debt seems like the least they can f***ing do.
John, we run similar shows. As I've said before, I'd be happy to have a sit down with you. We can do it live, totally unedited, your set, my set, Zoom, however you want to do it. But let me explain something to you. When you're, and I get it, you have 20 writers that give you all of that information. But what grandma has been thrown down on the linoleum? Because you have a box right over here where you show pictures. And I noted you did not show a picture of a grandma on a floor. You guys didn't even bother making an AI version of it because that would have been ridiculous. And what children have been zip tied? Box right over here. Why didn't you show a couple? You could have showed a little scrolling, Connor. We have that sort of technology. You can put pictures in boxes and it illustrates what I'm saying. And sometimes if I'm saying something true, it's very easy for them to put a picture right over here. But notice you didn't do that because you're completely making it up.